Tasha Alexander has been with us this evening, and really thank you for spending some time with us. So, if I wanted to be a writer, what would be your first bit of advice you would give me?
The first thing I would say is to read. Read widely, read all genres, read things that you think you might not like. There's no better way to learn how to tell a story than by reading well-crafted stories.
Okay, and I was just reading here that Stephen King, you're a fan of Stephen King and what he has to say about writing.
About writing, yeah. He wrote a wonderful book about writing, and he coined what he calls butt in chair, fingers on keyboard rule.
Yeah.
You're never going to finish that novel if you don't actually sit down at the computer and write it. You have to actually write it.
So you can't just sit around talking about writing?
You can't. You know, writers' groups can be a lot of fun, but you've got to remember that you have to actually get the words down on paper.
Do you fit that classic stereotype we have of the writers where there's a wastebasket full of crumpled up paper?
Well, not anymore because of course it's all computer.
Yes.
So I can't imagine.
I'm living in the Stone Age, I'm sorry.
I don't know how people wrote longhand, although I know that there are still people who do like writing their first drafts in longhand. I could not do that.
So you're at the computer, you're tapping away, you got the butt in the chair, the fingers on the keyboard, and do you ever get to the point where you just have that writer's block that comes in and you just can't do anymore? Or what do you do?
Honestly, I think writer's block is really a luxury. I mean, do people get to have teacher's block and be like, sorry, I can't go to work today?
Right.
Banker's block, lawyer block? No, you have to, if you are a professional and this is your career, you have to write. You have to write through these things. You can't not turn your manuscript in on time because you weren't feeling it.
Yeah, there's no such thing as carpenter's block.
Exactly.
You have to go build that house.
You have to go do it. And writing is like that. You know, I think we have a very romanticized notion of what it's like to write a book, and that you've got this beautiful space and a desk and the light coming in at the right angle and the muse sitting there with you. And that is not reality. You know, you have to, it's work, and it's hard, and some days it's harder than others. Just like any job.
You got to have just the right kind of desk, though.
I don't even have a desk.
You don't have a desk.
I don't even, and this is actually one of the things I always say to people when they are thinking about writing. We kind of have this idea that there's a certain way you've got to do things. Doesn't matter what you've got or don't have, what works for you, what works for me might not work for you. You've got to figure out what makes your brain tick and how you write a good book, not how somebody else does, and try to copy that.
So I don't need to go out and find the perfect desk in order to become a good writer.
Absolutely not.
Be done with anything. All right, so you live kind of a double life. You live here in Chicago part-time, the UK part-time. A lot of murder mysteries come out of the UK. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think there's just going back such a huge tradition of mystery fiction, I mean, starting with Sherlock Holmes, Agatha Christie, and the British TV stations have done such an amazing job putting those on film. And so whether you like reading or you like watching, there's a mystery for you coming from the Brits. And I think we love them because we have very romanticized ideas about England. We like that. We like their accents, let's be honest.
We sure do.
We do.
Tasha Alexander, thank you very much for being with us this evening.